Good morning and welcome to 90 Minutes with Mathematical. I'm reaching you from my base in Lagos. I'm sure you would have been expecting me to appear from Morocco, Marrakesh in Morocco. Unfortunately, I'm not there this morning. But tonight, Nigeria and Algeria will have the opportunity to settle their scores. And on the show, I'm having two persons to do justice to previewing that match and other issues. Once again, this is 90 Minutes with Mathematical on Eagle 7 Sports Radio, 103.7 FM. My guests are ready. They are waiting. In Marrakesh, we have the foremost, one of the greatest journalists out of this country, foremost African sports writer, Osasu Obayuwana. Good morning, Osasu.
Caro, Big Shake, Bounty.
Not bad at all, not bad. And of course, from Ibadan, we have, is he 3 or 4 time AFCON player, AFCON winner, the headmaster himself, Mutiu Adepoju, MON. Good morning, Mutiu.
Good morning, sir.
Fantastic.
Nice to be with you.
You are looking like somebody who should be in Morocco playing now. You are still looking.
Well, I'm looking like you. Because you are looking young too. So I'm taking after you.
Osasu is the ageless one. I've just been telling him that we are going to get him a wife from Wasimi, whether he likes it or not.
Good luck.
That would be nice.
Good luck.
That would be nice.
Yeah, welcome, gentlemen. Well, what we are saying this morning is completely AFCON, and then at a point, Muti will just tell us 1 or 2 things about an interesting club that I set up over 40 years ago. And that club is still running, still playing in the Nigerian, not league, but playing the Nigerian Football Federation's Challenge Cup matches every year since then. And it has Mutiu Adepoju as its current president. We'll be talking a little about that. Otherwise, our conversation will be limited to AFCON 2025. And we'll be taking calls, just a few calls, because there's so much ground to cover. So let me give you the telephone numbers wherever you are in the world. Remember, +234, then the numbers are 700 2255 1037 and 081 27 82 8497. Those are the 2 numbers you can reach us by. And of course, yes. So let us start this way, or let's go on this just very short break, 1 commercial, and then we come back and have our conversation. So after the break. Welcome back. Yes, this is 90 Minutes with Mathematical. Let me just get this clarification. Mutiu, how many AFCONs did you attend? Okay, it will come back to us. But okay, Osasu, you are there in Morocco. You have experienced so many AFCONs all over the place. What are your thoughts about AFCON 2025 compared to other AFCONs? What do you think? This is a Morocco that is preparing to host the World Cup. How has AFCON 2025 been so far?
Well, my answer to that is in my feature for The Observer of London, which was published last night. I said everything I wanted to say about this. In terms of the playing facilities, they are world-class everywhere. The pitches are the best I have seen at any AFCON ever. The only pitches that have come close to what I've seen in Morocco are what were available to us during the 2019 AFCON in Egypt. It is so refreshing to know that you can have a downpour at a stadium and the pitches remain in pristine condition even when the games are played. As you, because I also used your comments, because we've talked about pitches for so many years, and I used your comments on pitches in my article for the Observer. The field is the cathedral of the game, and that is where everything happens. When you look after the cathedral, the service takes care of itself. The high quality of football that we have seen at this AFCON is because of the pitch. When the players can tell the ball what to do and the ball does what it is told, it is because the pitch is there to allow the commands to be executed the way the players want it. Not potato farm pitches that we have had in many AFCONs that I have witnessed. So Morocco, as I said in my piece for the Observer, they have now set the benchmark for what playing facilities at an AFCON should be.
Fantastic. You just summed it up, because as far as I'm concerned, the pitch is everything. If the pitch is bad, every other thing will be bad. But let's hear from the player himself. Well, Mutiu is not in Morocco. Mutiu is in Ibadan. And I asked before you came on, Mutiu, I said, how many AFCONs did you attend? 3 or 4?
3. I attended 3 AFCONs. The first one was Senegal 92. That was my first AFCON when I was just coming up. And 94, the one we won. Before going to the first World Cup ever. And Ghana, Nigeria 2000, which we hosted alongside Ghana. It would have been 5, but in 1996 we were suspended. Nigeria was suspended from the AFCON. No, we didn't go for 1996 because we withdrew from it.
Sani Abacha forced all of you not to go. He forced you people not to go. And that was one of the most painful episodes in the history of Nigerian football.
It was very painful.
You guys were going to win that trophy. Everybody in Africa knew it, that there was no team in Africa that could withstand the Super Eagles at that time. I remember discussing this issue with Clive Barker, the manager of South Africa, who won that trophy. And I told him, I hope you have this trophy because Nigeria did not turn up. Of course, naturally, he vigorously objected to that. He has died now, and I'm so sorry he has died. May his soul rest in peace. He was a great coach for his country. He's the only one that has been able to deliver an AFCON for his country. almost 30 years on, they are still looking for another AFCON. And that tells you how hard it is to win an AFCON. It's not easy to win an AFCON. Morocco have won an AFCON in 50 years.
Wow.
50 years of won an AFCON. If they don't win this AFCON in Morocco, they will die here.
So actually 96 and the 98, which we were suspended. So we came back in 2000, in which Ghana and Nigeria co-hosted, and we got to the final to be eliminated.
They stole it.
Exactly.
VAR denied us.
There was no VAR then,
no, fantastic. Well, I must congratulate you because you are my senior in that regard.
No.
I went only two AFCONs.
But during that period, if you were to be now, you would have gone to like 4 or 5 or 6.
Okay, Mutiu. But we just heard what Osasu said there, particularly about the quality of the pitch. How important, you are a player, how important is that pitch?
Yeah, it's amazing to see what is happening in Morocco this AFCON, and what as you just said was what I read. I'm not in Morocco, but I think they have done fantastically well with the facilities. Top-notch facilities. Which they have prepared, and without any doubt, they have prepared for 2030 World Cup that they are going to co-host with Portugal and Spain. So I think it's been very, very nice. We've seen so lot of good football, which is very, very important. When the pitches are good, the football will flow, and we have seen that great football artistry in Morocco this AFCON, and they have really done very well. Even when the rain is pouring very, very much, and we could see it on TV that the rain is falling. From what we were used to that the water lodge and all this game suspended and all these things. We didn't see that, and the game was flowing even when there was big downpour of rain. So it's been very, very fantastic, and I think we are enjoying this AFCON with facilities that Morocco have provided.
Osasu, beyond the pitch, what of the atmosphere? Watching on TV, we have not been able to capture the atmosphere, around town, around the stadium area, even on the terraces. Sometimes it doesn't look as energetic as we were expecting. I don't know if this is a true reflection of what is going on there. How has the atmosphere around the AFCON this time been?
Let me read a portion of my Observer article to answer your question. The climatic conditions for the 35th AFCON are another matter, however. That was after I had praised them for the pitches. Rain, wind, and cold have been prevalent from the tournament's opening game in Rabat, giving this AFCON a dour European winter ambience, in sharp contrast to the heat and sunshine, which is more in tune with the vivacious vibe at the tournament. Eric Schell, Nigeria's head coach, freely admitted that the cold weather in Fez, where they played all their group games and a last 16 match, was a challenge. Midfielder Tochukwu Nadi, who plays for Belgian side Zoet Waregem, was down with a cold at the end of the group matches. So this tells you how the environment has been. The football has been good, no question. But the overall ambience, which you want a warm ambience, something that is making people feel really good about the AFCON, is not there as it should be there. I was in Morocco for the whole of July for the women's AFCON. So I'm able to compare and contrast an AFCON in the summer and an AFCON in the winter. They're just not the same. And as an executive committee member of the NFF said when I was having a conversation with this person, said, look, it just makes no sense. And we should never have an AFCON in the winter in Africa. Never. If you are hosting an AFCON in the north of Africa, you play it in June and July. And because obviously it will be very hot during the day, you play your games from about 5 o'clock in the evening when the temperatures will be down. If you're playing an AFCON in sub-Saharan Africa, you can play it between January and March. It's perfectly fine. And we're able to, look, Africa, let me tell you, Big Shag and Mutiu, day before yesterday, I spent an hour with the General Secretary of FIFA, Matthias Grafstrom. It was an off-the-record conversation, but I think I can say one or two things. I told him, at least I can say what I said, even if I don't say what he says. And I told him, I said, listen, people need to understand that Africa has the most climatically diverse conditions in the world. So you cannot plan your AFCONs the way you plan European championships in Europe where the weather is uniform. We can't do this. And it is high time that the world should realize that there is diversity in the world in terms of football, in terms of how we play it, how we think about it, how we want to organize it. Yes, there are basic standards that should be met wherever you play football. But there are certain cultural and climatic peculiarities which must be taken into cognizance when you organize things. there is a reason for the near 30 years he was president of CAF. Issa Hayatou fought every attempt to change the timing of the AFCON, whether in terms of the frequency of the AFCON. He fought against these things and fought against it with all the might he had for the near 30 years he was president. And now we are beginning to see things that are deeply concerning, gravely concerning about the AFCON. I'm sorry if I'm going into this and sort of taking you off a bit of a tangent.
No. This is correct. Just go on.
But this is really important. It is a crime for anybody to tell us in Africa that we should be organizing an AFCON 4 years. For what? For what? For us. It is the way we want to play our football. We have been playing the AFCON for nearly 70 years. The European Championship started 3 years after the African Cup of Nations. The African Cup of Nations is senior to the European Championship. This is how we want to play our football. And there are several reasons why a biennial AFCON is critical to our growth and development in Africa. One, it ensures that regular games are played all the time by the national teams. Two, it brings about infrastructural development for football because it forces governments and to do things which ordinarily they would not want to do if they are not pushed. But when you have an AFCON every 2 years, it means that you're either having a qualifying series in 1 year, or you're actually having a tournament proper in another year. So this kickstarts a lot of development that needs to happen. If you take an AFCON to 4 years, you are going to kill a lot of that. Because we are not Europe, as I told the General Secretary of FIFA. The lifeblood of European football is the UEFA Champions League, not the European Championship. The European Championship is an added bonus for UEFA financially. It's not really that important to them. The Champions League is the golden calf. That is what makes UEFA richer than FIFA, because they have an annual competition. And the reason why FIFA is trying to organize a Club World Cup is to gather more revenue so they can be as rich as UEFA. That is the reason, amongst other things. For us in Africa, the AFCON is our bread and butter. And we must do everything to protect it. And to be honest, Big Sheg and with you, please, all of you need to speak out concerning this matter. Because if we don't speak out and resist this attempt by foreign elements to come and trash the heritage of African football, we are going to be in deep trouble in the coming years ahead.
Osas, well spoken. Look, you have clearly explained the situation to people like us that did not have a complete grasp of what has been going on. Yes, I've been following from a distance, but just listening to you this morning, I'm assuring you that at least my voice, and I will add Mutiu's as part of the chorus, we will raise our voices. That's for sure. But let's go on to today's match, because I know Nigerians all over the world are waiting to see how this war between the two Nigerias, Algeria and Nigeria, will be settled this evening. Will be settled this evening in Marrakesh. My own story, you see, every time I hear the word Algeria, you know, my heart sinks, because it is these same useless Algeria people that did not allow us go to the World Cup.
I don't even agree with you there. I insist that every time Nigeria didn't go to a World Cup,
yes,
or didn't go to an AFCON,
it is Nigeria that lost.
The biggest adversary of Nigeria in football is Nigeria itself.
Nigeria, I agree. No. We are going to come to that. But on the surface of things, these Algerians, me, I don't like them one bit.
But so they hear you.
I'm going to hear that. Today we are going to set.
I will tell the story when you have finished what you are saying. I will tell the story.
Well, it was at their expense that we qualified for the 1994 World Cup.
Yes. So Mutiu, you are the player now. You are the player now. We are playing them this evening. Tell us what is going to happen. What would you plan? What do you think? You have seen the two teams. Preview it for us.
I think, I just have to tell the boys, definitely this AFCON, the Super Eagles, they have improved game by game. And we have seen what happened in all the 4 games that they have played. And not talking about the issue, controversy and all that. But looking at them, I think they are good to go, and they have been doing very well. And all I just want is for them to continue with that and even improve on what they have done in the past against Algeria, because Algeria is not going to be easy. It has not been easy playing Algeria all the time, and we had that history before we went to play them in 1994 for that World Cup that we really wanted.
That was war.
We had it, and it was war, and we really went there for them to qualify in their domain. We played them in draw. I think it was 1-1 draw to qualify us for the first ever World Cup, because we knew ahead that what they have done to Nigeria for qualifying for the World Cup, and we said this time around it's not going to be so. We are going to go at their expense, and we did it. So this today's game is not going to be any easy like all other matches that we have played against them, and the players just have to right from the beginning, they have to be up and doing, they have to use what they have, and guide against our own weaknesses, because all teams have their strong points and weaknesses, and I think if we use what we are strong in the attack, I believe if we score very early, it's going to be very very good for us.
I can't wait to hear Osasu tell us why the Algerians are afraid of Nigeria all the time. Yeah, let's hear that your story. You say they are afraid of us, eh? Oh yeah. How?
You in particular. You.
Oh, me?
Yes. You. I was in Algeria. I think that was in 2023. I think I was in Algiers in 2023. I was invited by the Algerian Football Federation. They were staging the Under-17 African Championship there, and I was invited to come. And while I was there, I was privileged during my visit to spend time in a cafe with Salah Assad, the captain of the team that played against you in Lagos, and Ali Fegani. We were together. We were together in a cafe in Algiers, and they started to talk about the final in Lagos, and they were talking about their colleague Mustafa Kuichi, who played in that final. As they have not forgotten the way you made mincemeat out of him in the final, and they told me that after that game, anytime they see him and they want to make fun of him, they will just say, "Odegbami, Odegbami." Till today, 40-something years later, they say that's what they still do to him.
Wow. Well, I don't know, but you see, those Algerians, one way to look, in 1980, they were the best team in Africa. They were, without question, the best team in Africa. But what we used on that day was our physicality, our speed, and power. Physicality, speed, and power before they could settle down at all. And of course, the elements were also with us. You need a little bit of luck here and there, and so on and so forth. And even in 1982, when we played them in the second leg,
81, you played in September. Was it not September 81 you played them in Lagos?
Oh, 81 for the 82 yes. World Cup. When we played them in Algiers, we played the same system. They were shocked until they settled down, and then the game turned around. Otherwise, we could have beaten them even on their home soil. But anyway, so our head-to-head. Mutiu has said a lot, about They are being a hard nut to crack. And they have to be cracked, whether we like it or not. But also, Osasu said something that we must now look at. It is Nigeria that will, if anything untoward is going to happen, Nigeria will beat Nigeria. And we started creating that scenario of the possibility of Nigeria creating Nigeria. What is the problem with us? Look, first of all, we didn't pay bonuses. Those distractions. Then we had this unfortunate incident of Lukman and Osimhen and so on and so forth. But Osasu, before you say anything, let Mutiu just tell us.
Yeah, sure.
The incident on the field between Osimhen and Lukman and so on, I know that we fight sometimes, you get angry and so on, but is it normal that players on the field should have that kind of, quarrel between themselves and then escalate to the point that we saw in that match? Does it happen at all whilst you were playing?
I mean, it shouldn't. While we were playing, no, it doesn't happen like that. A team is supposed to be united right from the dressing room, even, when they are in camp. And when you get to the field, there are, messages that you are passing. And with that kind of, incidents, I think, it's not normal and it's not supposed to come, at all. If you have any differences, it should be treated in the dressing room. You can, lock yourself in the dressing room and, both of you talk to yourself, and even the coaches and other players, they will interject, and they will talk about it. And you settle everything, but not on the field just like that. And from a game that you are winning, you are leading 3-0, and that happens. It's uncalled for. For me, I think. Because footballers are role model, and the young players, young people coming behind us, they are looking, and they will feel this is normal, and it's not normal. We're supposed to be, role model. We're supposed to let them see that, okay, this is the way it should be done and all that. Then if you have differences, you can deal with it in the dressing room. And that's, just what I feel about it.
Okay, well, I remember that there was this issue between Samson Siasia and Rashidi Yekini some time ago, when Samson should have passed to Rashidi and he didn't. And, I believe that must have been one of the last matches that Samson played, because the whole country blamed him for not passing that ball to Rashidi in that match. I don't remember what match it is. And
it was Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Abidjan for the 94 World Cup qualifier in Abidjan.
Yes. Very good. And from time to time, you see, as players, we go mad on the field. You just lose that composure. Something just, either escalates your happiness. It's like having an orgasm, or it makes you mad. But let's look at this incident between Osimhen and Lukman. Osasu.
Let me bring in the commentary of somebody who knows him well and whom both of you know very well, Emmanuel Amunike, because I did a piece on this issue for The Guardian, which came out on yesterday morning. And I asked Emmanuel for his take on this matter, because obviously he discovered Osimhen for the under-17 team and he knows him. And this is what he had to say. Osimhen is one with a lot of character. It is only when you come close to him that you can really understand him. It's not that he is a bad person. He has the character of a person that wants to win. There are always issues within a team. We shouldn't make too much out of it. I was privileged to know Lukman because he was his coach during the 2022 World Cup playoff against Ghana. I was with the team then. He's an open-minded person who likes to relate with people. We need different characters in our team in order to succeed. So that's what Emmanuel had to say about it. If you're asking about what I think about it, I think Victor is naturally a combustible person. That's just the way he is. I feel if you know the background of Victor, where he comes from and what it took for him to be successful, he's had to fight for everything he has had in his life. He came from a background where he had to be selling water on the street in order to help his family to eat. So this is a person for whom life has been war. To make something out of his life has been war. That's the way he sees life. He wouldn't look at life the way an Alex Iwobi, who comes from a father who is a lawyer, whose uncle was one of the greatest footballers Nigeria has ever had. Two of his uncles played for the national team before him. His own father played football. Footballers come from all kinds of backgrounds, and their backgrounds are so influential in the way they behave. I accept that he can temper it down a little bit, because one of the things that makes Osimhen a very good footballer is the fire that is in him. But as a striker, to score, you must have fire, you must have determination, you must have guts. If you don't have those things, you can't be a world-class striker. Nice guys are not top strikers. You've got to have that extra, that push, that drive. So if you take away what makes him that, he will become less of a person. But I accept you shouldn't have arguments with your teammates like that in public. You should try to avoid it. But as both of you know, in football, arguments happen from time to time. We're human beings. The most important thing is the management. After it happens, make up, move on, focus on the next task that you have. But what I didn't like about Osimhen over the years is that, one, his social media use was not temperate. And when you are now an African Footballer of the Year, a top football player, you are known all over the world, you've got to be careful about your utterances. You just can't say things. I remember after the World Cup playoff in 22, Victor Ikpeba criticized him and said, look, you're a good footballer, but all these your overhead kicks and things you were doing during the game against Ghana, they were not helpful. And then Osimhen goes on to Instagram and now calls him Pundit Isono. You can't do that. I mean, you have to. I mean, what Victor has achieved in football, Osimhen has not achieved it yet. You have no AFCON in your pocket. You have no Olympic gold in your pocket. And Victor was an African Footballer of the Year over a decade before you. So he needs to respect those who have achieved, even if you don't like their comments. But he's a pundit. It's his job to talk about these things. So Osimhen should just take it down a little bit, not too much, just a little. Doesn't have to always behave in this combustible way.
I like that. You know, my own personal experience with Osimhen, you know, we have been in communication over time. You know, we've been chatting from time to time. And when we finally met in Abidjan, you know, I was part of the team for the 2024 AFCON thing. You know, as an independent, I would just go before every game and I would have a conversation with the team. JJ Okocha was there a few times. And what I noticed throughout that period was that Osimhen at those meetings never said a word. Osimhen would just sit back, you know, and he would listen and he would not make any contributions, and there was a smile on his face. On one occasion, because I really wanted to meet with him, as soon as the meeting ended and we were about to go out, he just got up and just came to me and said, can we go and take a picture? In Yoruba, he spoke Yoruba to me. He said, oh, let's go and take a picture. And we went and we took the picture. I was even trying to say, okay, when can we see? And before I knew it, he had left me. I just sensed that, look, this is a different kind of character. You know, he knows who his friends are. He relates with his friends. And if you are not his friend, you know straight away he doesn't come near you, and so on and so on. So he has to be handled some way or the other. But what I found totally unacceptable is for the player to get so angry, to volunteer that they should substitute him, to just walk past everybody into the tunnel, and to go to the hotel and start to pack his things after the game. This is no longer spontaneous. His anger sustained till well after the game, because he now went and packed his things, from what we hear, and he was going to leave. Because of what? Anyway, but you are absolutely right. Somehow, psychologically, he has to be managed. We must get the right psychologist to work on him. It is not something you just tell him and then he says, yes, okay, I've changed.
No, because it's about deep-seated, it's a character which comes from a certain place. And as you said, only a psychologist can really address that with him if he is open enough to interact with somebody who has the expertise to really address those issues.
Mutiu, I'll ask you
this. Yes, sir.
We'll go on a break, and then when we come back, you answer the question. Why is it these footballers, these Super Eagles players, of all generations, you'll always make wahala when it comes to bonuses, unpaid bonuses, and so on? Me, I don't understand though. Yeah, we too, we made our own wahala. For you people, this thing is getting too much, too distractive. But wait, just hold on. You will answer. When we come back, when we come back from our, you like money too much. You like money too much.
Don't you like money? Who doesn't like money?
There's nobody that doesn't like money.
Okay, let's go on this break. When we come back, Mutiu will take on that question after the break. So welcome back. This is Eagle 7 Sports Radio. 90 minutes with Mathematical. We are previewing the Nigeria-Algeria match coming up at 5 p.m. today. And I just told Mutiu Adepoju to tell us why they like money too much. And they make trouble. For our big games, they will always make trouble. What is wrong with you, Super?
Well, firstly, let me just clear it. You know it. You are just putting me in the box. It's over 20-something years, or is it not? I mean, going to 30 that I've retired from the Super Eagles.
It's the same story. The story has been the same. They never pay us. No, the truth is they never pay us when they are supposed to pay us. They always owing us money. And so maybe we should start to change the music now. Because why don't they pay us? Why don't we? I don't understand. Okay, you tell us.
Well, I wouldn't know, and all I understand now, the way things are now, not like before. It's the government releases the money, and there are bureaucracies and ways what they have to do and all that. But just because of this misunderstanding and not believing that this is true or whatever, I think that's why the players are agitating. Well, it's something that I don't like. It's something I don't like. I don't like the way the country is being embarrassed at the international stage. And we have been hearing this for a very long time, and I think this is high time that this should stop. Because it is embarrassing for the country. It's embarrassing even for the players and everybody. And I don't think I've been hearing. It's only Nigeria that I've been hearing all this issue and all that. And I think we should just generally everybody should just find solution to this thing, so that we just have. Peaceful competitions, peaceful World Cup, or AFCON, or anything that we want to play, because it's getting too much. I don't know where it comes from.
They promise you something.
I think you just have to find a way around it.
Look, when they promise you something, when you are entitled to something.
Hello, sir.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
When the NFF or government or whoever promises you something, or when you are entitled to something, and at the time you are supposed to get it, you don't get it. And now time comes in and people like you have to wait for decades to get the houses.
To get it.
The houses that they said they had allocated to you, and it takes you decades. Before you even get it, some of us have died. Some of us died without even collecting the houses. So there is no trust that even when they promise or you're entitled to something and you go in, because the Super Eagles thing is transitional. You go in and you come out, and sometimes you don't come back, and so on and so forth. So it just leaves this doubt in the minds of players that their governments, their federation, and so on would not fulfill those obligations. And so they make trouble. Why can't they just not do what they have to do when they have to do it? Osasu.
Look, let me even go back to an incident with Mutiu and his generation of players. I will never forget this. And you shouldn't, because you were the team manager of the Super Eagles at that time in 93, I think.
Yeah.
You remember there was a send-off dinner that was to have been had at Eco Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
And that send-off was to be preceded by a game between Nigeria and Ghana at the stadium in Surulere. And as Mutiu will remember very well, the World Cup bonuses after they had qualified for the USA had not been paid up to that moment. And prior to that time, they had been asking for that money, and that money was not paid. And so the only time they could hold the NFA, as it was then known by the jugular, was when that match was to be played before the gala dinner. And then Big Boss, they all had their conversation. And, you know, Big Boss, the chairman, gave them the ultimatum that if you don't pay us this money, we are not going to the stadium to play this match. And 60,000 Nigerians were in the stadium waiting for them. And they knew that if they didn't play that match that day, the chaos those 60,000 Nigerians would have caused in Surulere, it wouldn't have been a joke.
Mutiu was part of them.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He's laughing because he remembers what I'm saying very well. Very well. Yeah. Omero and others, they had to run to the money that they said they didn't see all this time. They saw the money. So where was this? So if they had this money, why couldn't they pay them on time? Why must they always be drama to pay someone what you are due to give them? I mean, this culture. I mean, was it yesterday or the day before, the Nigerian Minister of Finance now had to make a statement, an official statement on this matter concerning the team now. About, yes, she made an official statement stating about the processes now that will be put in place regarding their payment. And I hope now that the Minister of Finance of the country has had to, this one has not even gone beyond NFA chairman, and it's the Minister of Finance that made the statement.
Wow.
I hope this matter will come to an end, because I'm fed up. Yeah, during the World Cup playoff, because of about $140,000, it was mayhem in Rabat. Mayhem for $140,000. For what? Pay these players their money. And you see, for me, I don't even think it is the lack of the payment that is the main problem. It is the lack of trust that is the problem.
Yeah, the trust is the issue.
If you are known to be a person of your word, when you have a problem and you communicate it, you will be trusted enough to resolve the problem because your word means something. And those you are making the promise to know, oh, really, this is a person of integrity, or this is an institution of integrity that will honor their promise when they are supposed to honor it. And if there is a problem, they will not wait for us to complain before they will then come back to us and tell us there is an issue. But unfortunately, this has not been. And I have said this to the NFF president. I've said this to the NFF general secretary. I have said this to the chairman of the National Sports Commission. I've said this to the director general. They know my views because in private, we have very hard conversations on this matter. They know me and they know my point of view. I've told them that this matter must stop. It has to stop. Even Shell, they have been owing him. Is it because the man is just quietly doing his work and he doesn't want to talk? So we have to stop these things. When you were at Real Sociedad, can you go to your bank account on any day and not see your salary there on the day it is due? Can you hear any story that your allowance is not paid on the day it is due?
It's impossible.
Stephen Keshi told me, in all the years he worked in Ghana, in Mali and Togo as a coach, not one day was he owed salary. One day. This is in Mali and Togo. But when he came to coach Nigeria, his own country, where he is a legend, an icon of the game, it's one story after another story after another story. Nigeria, as a country, we must do better than this. This culture of mediocrity, of lacking integrity when it comes to meeting financial commitments, it has to stop. Because if it doesn't stop, the agitation of the players will not stop. Yeah. And it is the country that will be embarrassed every single time.
Nothing to add to that conclusion. However, we must also say that I read, I don't know if it is true, that Captain now, Wilfred Ndidi, actually volunteered that he was going to pay all those outstanding bonuses so that he would get his refund later, just to make sure that this team is not distracted by the issue of finances. But happily, they have now been paid, I hear, and all is well. So, Cameroon are out. Mali are out. And we have this match coming up after our own between, I think it's Egypt and Congo DR.
No, Cote d'Ivoire.
And Cote d'Ivoire. And Cote d'Ivoire. So the men now are being separated from the boys. Mutiu, I'm sure you have been following. Just give us an idea of your impressions of the teams so far. Which teams have been most impressive so far in your own reckoning? Apart from the Super Eagles, of course.
Yes, apart from the Super Eagles, I think Morocco have been making statements. Let's just forget about the second round, the match they played. That it was hard for them to win, but they have made them a statement. And Cote d'Ivoire too. Cote d'Ivoire, they have been very strong, and right from the beginning, just like Nigeria, they have been improving and all. Then with him again, Egypt. Let's see Egypt. Yes, let's see what happened today. But
what of Senegal?
Oh yes, Senegal. I was going to come to Senegal too, and they have made statements, and these are very strong teams. That are potential winner of AFCON. Aside, with Nigeria included.
Osasu, which teams have impressed you the most?
Mali actually was one of them. I think they have actually done quite well. But I think when you play against Senegal, that arguably have the most balanced team in this tournament, it's difficult. But they've done well even to get this far. Morocco, they are under tremendous pressure. The coach is under tremendous pressure. I can't begin to explain to you pressure he's under. In any other country, if you have taken an African team to the World Cup semi-final for the first time, that should ensure it should make you bulletproof for some years. But not in Morocco. If this guy doesn't win the trophy in Morocco, or he has to lose it in a way that is so clear that it wasn't his fault. He will not take this team to the World Cup in the United States. I'm telling you, that is how pressured his situation is. Yes. And, especially after the way Morocco lost the AFCON to us in July, because I was in the stadium for that final. And when they were leading 2-0, they thought the match was over until the power of the Super Falcons came out to let them know that there is a reason why the Super Falcons have won 10 out of 13 women's AFCONs in Africa. That's why I say even to you, Mutiu, for me, the Super Falcons are the best performing team of Nigeria, even above you, the Super Eagles. And they are the most successful national team in the history of African football, bar none. And while we are discussing the Super Eagles on this program and this match, I want to just give a few minutes to them, the women, because we need to respect them. We need to treat them the same way the Super Eagles are being treated. Football is football. The Super Falcons have gone to every World Cup since 1991. They have not missed one World Cup. We have to respect achievement. We have to respect effort, because it is only in doing so that we can progress as a football country. So I'm just saying this because the Women's AFCON is in less than 2 months from now. Less than 2 months from now. And I'm not seeing the level of preparation that is needed for them to defend that title and to make sure they qualify for the World Cup in Brazil. I'm sorry I have to divert to the Super Falcons, but it is very important that even as we talk about this AFCON, we talk about them because they are just as important. Going back to the issue of the moment, which is the Super Eagles and this match today. We've played 4 games. 3 of the games were relatively very easy. Only 1 game really tested the capacity of the team, and that was the game against Tunisia. And if we are brutally honest with ourselves, if Tunisia had 5 or 10 more minutes in that game, they would have drawn level. The pressure they were mounting on the team was so much. And we're all wondering, why did Eric Schell take out Frank Onyeka from the middle of the pitch? Because as soon as he took him out, the character of the midfield changed. The Tunisians were able to stretch the defense by playing wide. So there were so many gaps in the defense. And you imagine you were leading a game 3-0 up till about the last 15, 20 minutes. And then you almost came close to losing, to drawing the game. That's not an acceptable situation. Now we are playing an Algerian side. And I've been watching the coach, Vladimir Petkovic. He's very intelligent, tactically sound coach. And if you watch the game against DR Congo, you will know that this man, his football intelligence is high. Because the substitutions he made against DR Congo were what gave them the win that day. So the game against Algeria will be a game of tactics, but it will also be a game of endurance, especially in the last 20 to 30 minutes. If Nigeria don't play a consistent game all through, if we go and play brilliant football for 60 minutes or 70 minutes and switch off for the last 20, we will lose the game. And it wouldn't matter that the team would have played some of its best football in the tournament for the first 60 or 70 minutes. What matters is to win. And to win, you have to be consistent. But we have a problem as well, which most people are not acknowledging. We have what is arguably the best attack in Africa today. No question. But you can't win a tournament just with a ferocious attack. You need balance. in the midfield. While your own team, Mutiu, was great, while it was a superb team, was that your team had balance. It had balance. You had a Yikini, you had an Amokachi, you had an Amunike, but at the back, you had an Uche Okechukwu, you had a Chidiwanu, you had a Stephen Keshi. In the middle, you had an Olise, had you, it had JJ Okocha. So can you see the strength of balance that made you guys so difficult? Because every department, you couldn't see any leak. But in this team is not like that, especially since Benjamin Frederick and Ola Aino are not present for this AFCON. It's a big loss not to have those two guys in the defense. We are seeing the consequences of not having those guys here. And then unfortunately, one of the guys that is to plug in for them, Brian Aleviosu, has not been okay physically. So I don't know whether he will even play this game. So these are the issues. These are the things that Eric Schell will have to manage. Not going to be easy.
This is Eagle 7 Sports Radio 103.7 FM coming to you live from our studios in Abeokuta in Ogun State, Nigeria. And this is 90 Minutes with Mathematical. Osasu Obayuana and Mutiu Adepoju are with me today, and we are discussing the Nigeria-Algeria match. And from what Osasu just said, Nigeria presents an unusual attack. Two of those players in front of, two of the striking players for Nigeria are the two current best players in Africa. You have Lukman, you have Seaman, and then you have these young men around them, Akko and Simon Mosey.
And I'm sorry, Big Sheikh, to interrupt you. Nobody is even saying that the best player for Nigeria in this tournament is not even these players you are mentioning. Alex Iwobi has been the most outstanding player for Nigeria in this tournament.
I think differently. I think that the best player has been Calvin in the center of Nigeria's defense. Alex Iwobi has been truly outstanding, but for me, Calvin has been consistent from match to match. All the 4 games that have been played, that guy has just been really, really consistent. In the last match that Nigeria played, Alex Iwobi stood head and shoulders above everybody else. But for consistency through the matches, I think we should give Calvin, that's my opinion. But go ahead.
Calvin Bassey is an outstanding defender. But the challenge is that at the moment, he doesn't have the support from the left side and the right side that will play at the same level he is playing. That's where the problems are. Iwobi is playing so well for one reason. Alex needed to be given the free role for a long time, and he was never given it. He was being asked to defend, to track back, to do things which are not really part of his natural role. But in this team, Shell has allowed him to play the way he plays for Fulham, his normal, natural way. And you can see how it has transformed him. He's spraying the pass. You can hardly see Iwobi make a wrong pass. Hardly. And every pass he's making has a purpose. It has an end product in terms of what it is supposed to do. And, I would never say Iwobi is as good as his uncle, because JJ is...
He's a magician.
He's on the level of Zidane. That is the category as a football player. In terms of his capacity, he is with the Zidanes of this world. So I put JJ in a special category. But Alex has been outstanding. And we need that free role for him to continue so that he can provide the opportunities for the likes of Osimhen and Lukman and to expect. And one thing I like about Lukman, and which I hope he will continue to work on, is he's a very good support striker as well as being a striker himself.
Yeah.
So When he has the opportunity, by all means, go and score. When you know that Osimhen has a better opportunity as he sees, give him the ball. One of the reasons Osimhen gets angry sometimes is he will feel he has put himself in a goal-scoring position and he wants the service, and then the service doesn't come. And when he doesn't get the service, he gets very angry. Like he was telling Lukman on that day they were quarreling. He said football is a team sport. It's not an individual game, where they were having that argument.
After Lukman had fed him twice to score. Anyway, but we must talk about that attack. We must talk with you. Let's talk about that attack. If they play as a team, you see that attack is unstoppable. And now that Alex Iwobi is there to spread passes, and Akko is using his power, to just bulldoze those defenses, you must talk about that attack. We must.
Yes, I think, that's the reason why we have gotten, so many goals in 4 matches. I think, the most, goals, that have scored by a team is, Nigeria scoring 12, I think. And it's wonderful. The attack, they have been very, very good. And I really like, the tactical change, that, Michel has, made. Yeah, because, before we used to see Lukman on the wing and playing like 4-3-3 and all that. But now we have a compact attack, including Akko, Osimhen, Lukman coming from behind and all. And it makes it very, very very easy and very good for us to get the goals, because they're all moving. And with the inclusion of Akko, I think the attack has been wonderful. And I believe if they make use of that tactics, and it's going to be good for us.
Well, I'm thinking, Osasu, if I was a player now, and I look at the way Osimhen plays. You see, Osimhen is a unique kind of player. The guy does not like to hold on to the ball at all. If he has a quarter of a chance, he's shooting at goal. He just takes every quarter chance, not half a chance, every quarter chance to shoot. And whenever the ball gets to him, he's always looking for somebody around to release the ball to. He's looking for spaces to run into. When you have that kind of understanding of your central forward player, if I played with Osimhen these days, it would be like my combination with Rashidi Yekini in 1984, when the guy was banging in goals anyhow, and I was playing from the wings, right or left. So I just picture this in my head. I don't know, but that's Osimhen for me. He's underrated. I think he's greater than people even say he is.
I don't think people are underrating him. I think people are seeing that him even being at Galatasaray, he's too big for there. It's too big for Turkish football. It's too big. But I don't know. You see, the issue of character. Look, as Mutiu will tell you, in Europe, when a manager wants to buy a player, they look at the football ability, and then they do a deep, especially when it is going to be a big buy, they go and do deep investigation into the character of the player. They want to know the personality of the person they are buying. They are very intentional about how they do these things.
Exactly.
And they will go and start asking around from people that have worked with that player to get some intelligence on whom that player is. They don't just buy and say, try your luck. No. They are intentional about how they do it. And this is why I want Victor to understand that Victor should be playing for Liverpool or Chelsea or Real Madrid or Barcelona, because he is that quality of player. Those are the type of clubs where Victor should be. But if they do their due diligence on character and feel that this guy is a combustible character that will not bring peace within the dressing room, they won't buy him. Remember what happened with Lazio? Oh, sorry, not with Lazio, with Napoli before he left. It wasn't good for the club. It wasn't good for him. Unfortunately, I think Victor needs to have advisors that he listens to, that he can respect their opinion when they point out things to him that are not in his own interest. I also think when he now signed his new contract at Napoli, it was a mistake. He shouldn't have done it because you were top scorer in the Serie A. That's the first time an African player had become capocannoniere in Italy. You could write your tickets to go anywhere you want to go. You need to be very careful about what you sign because it influences, it reduces or enhances your ability to negotiate your transfers. And the president of Napoli, he's worked in Hollywood. He's a tough negotiator. He doesn't mess around with money. So when he signed that deal, you put yourself in a difficult situation. And then we were now looking at Osimhen, looking at whether he should go to Saudi. Can Osimhen go and do what there? He really was almost thinking of going there. He said, you can't. That is for when you are 32, 33, you're 27 now. You still have at least 3 to 5 years of top-level football in Europe if you look after yourself. The Saudi is not for you. It's not meant for you. You are to play in the best leagues of the world. But if the issue of character, of temperament, he doesn't resolve it. Because it may not even, as Amunike said, may not be that he's not a bad person. I don't think he's a bad person.
He's not.
It's just that he has a way of expressing himself, which doesn't come across well to others who don't really understand him and who will not have the patience to understand him. Football is a business that people don't have much time to start delving. They want to be able to use you ready to go. So I hope he will listen to those he respects and just temper the things about him. Because Arsenal, for instance, he would have been a great buy for Arsenal. Great buy, because he's what they miss in the team.
I bet leave Arsenal out of this conversation. What we are talking football, and please leave Arsenal out of this conversation. You should have been talking of Barcelona, or
Why it can be, look. It is. I have already mentioned Barcelona or Real Madrid.
So it stay there.
But whether you like it, I'm not an Arsenal supporter, please. So before you go into that, don't start accusing me of
why were you mentioning Arsenal?
But because it's a team with tradition, with history, it's a big club. Whether you want to accept
with
it.
You, where are we taking Victor next? Mutiu, where are we taking Victor? We can't take him to Arsenal now. Mutiu.
Well, Barcelona or Real Madrid would have been
exactly
good place for him. but in Spain, like Osazu said, they will go in deep and then investigate your character and anything that is going to disrupt the dressing room. They will not go for it. So that's just the truth. So the character has to change, and I think he has to work on his emotion, on his way of the outbursts and everything. He has to work on it because, like I said, that's what the role model. And they don't want in Spain. They will not want somebody that will come and the youth, the young ones coming, will be looking at him. They want a role model, somebody that will be able to show them how it's supposed to be done, and the youth and all that, so that they can learn from him. So I think in Spain would have been a very good a good place for him, because I mean he will get a lot of passes that is looking for him to score so many goals.
Exactly.
Oh no, definitely, definitely. The Spanish way of playing, where you have lots of room, lots of space, lots of movement, would suit him very really well. Yeah.
Very good, very good. Well, we may be able to take one call. Let's try to see if we can take one call. You know, this is technology at work now. I'm in Lagos, you are in Marrakesh, Mutu is in Ibadan. Ini is in Wasimi trying to control all of this. So, Ini, if there's a call, please let me know so we can take at least one call.
Hello.
But whilst we are waiting for
Hello.
that, Osasu,
Hello.
you do not know. Do we have a
Hello.
call?
Hello. Hello. Good morning, Uncle Sheikh.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah, good morning, Big Sheikh. This is
Good
original
morning.
Golden.
Good morning. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Abiokuta. This is original Golden. The usual caller.
Okay, Mr. Goldie. So how are you? Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead. Make your contribution
I'm all
or
right, sir.
ask your question.
Yes, sir. So I'm especially listening to what people are saying. There's one area you people do not mention, which I want to point out.
Okay.
I thank God the man at the Morocco is there and he's listening to me. I'm talking about the area of penalty shootouts, penalty taking. We have, since I've been following Nigerian football, we have good penalty takers, or those who shoot penalties very well. But what happened during the World Cup playoff between Nigeria and Congo, it's nothing to write home about. We played that penalty as if it's not Nigeria that are playing it. So I want to point out the issue of playing penalty, especially this, as we know in the knockout stages. Our former entered to penalty shooter. But what they played against Congo DR during the World Cup playoffs, it was not good at all. So it's not how Nigeria play penalty. I was thinking maybe the coach didn't select the good penalty takers, or maybe they didn't practice it before that DR Congo. So what I'm saying now, the coach, I tell you, the sportsman in the Morocco now should tell the coach they should at least bring half an hour to practice how to play penalty, because it's likely in this knockout stages, avoid we enter penalty shootouts. So they should choose best men as
Mr.
penalty for Nigeria.
Look, this is you are raising a right issue, a correct issue, because penalty kick. This is the period where you go and play extra time. It's a draw, and then you need to play penalties. But we don't have access to the coaches there in Morocco now. But Muti, you want to say a word or two about that? Penalty kicks, that's so important, man. It's so important.
Yes, it's very, very important, and they should be practiced before any game. I mean, at this stage, I mean, penalties should be practiced so that you can see, which player has the confidence, and which player are going to play the penalties. That should be the perfect ones. That have the confidence at every given time to play the penalty. I think the coaches should be practicing that even for this stage that we are now. Okay.
Well, Osasu, I was saying we'll be able to take one more call. I think just one more call. But many years ago, I'm sure Osasu, in all your research and so on, you did not know, or you do not know, that I set up a football club in Ibadan. I was on the verge of retiring. In fact, I had retired the first time. And during that period, I decided I was going to establish a professional football club in Nigeria. And I actually registered that club and got players that were just immediately retiring from football to be part of that club. We got them from all over the country, to come. And we formed the Soccer Ambassadors Football Club. It's called Soccer Ambassadors Football Club. I don't know if you know about it, Osasu.
I do.
Incredible. But we set up that club. That club has been playing in the Ibadan Football Association League for decades. And it has been playing in all the Challenge Cup games in Oyo State up to date. And it exists, and they are celebrating something. Mutiu Adepoju is the current president of Soccer Ambassadors Football Club. I am interested to know what is going on with that club. How well are they doing? Who are the players there? Are you playing in that club?
Yes, I'm playing, and you established that, and it was correctly and rightly established, because we have left football, that we are no more old. That is where we have our time to play every weekend. We play every Sunday morning, and that's how we celebrate. We come together, and we have fun playing football. And those that will after the playing in the morning, after the game, those that will try to do faji and all that, drink and all that.
So you are not a serious football club then.
No, we are serious because we had. We have some young ones that joined, but we, the old one, we just play it. Enjoy ourselves. We come together and see ourselves and all that, just to make us happy. Then, but we have the young ones that played in the IFA League, the Football Association League, that play. But yeah, we are a group of people that really like.
So
after football, we like.
What's happening to the club now?
Yes, the club is existing, as you rightly said. I am the president, the current president, since going to 2 years now, and we are celebrating. Well, we should have done it in December, but we just put it in beginning of the year celebration instead of end of year celebration. And this Sunday we are having our celebration this Sunday. That is tomorrow. Exactly. Tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. And we have plans of with merriment and everything. Then we have plans of giving some great people awards. Which our president, inaugural president, Chief yourself, that we are giving award to, and some other people too that have contributed into football around in Nigeria here, that we are going to give award to. So we
inviting Osasu to come. You are inviting Osasu after winning tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not in Nigeria. He's in Morocco and all that. We would have loved him to come, even you yourself. But probably you are going to Morocco. But
yes.
We would just love to have you and honor you being the.
Okay. Anyway, look, I want to use this opportunity to thank you all for sustaining that club that I founded, and we wish you the best of luck as you go into your celebrations tomorrow. It's a socializing opportunity. Continue to take care of the welfare of those who need support and help, and the Lord will continue to be with you. So I don't think we can take any more calls. But Osasu, your final thoughts, and help us. I don't want you to predict. I know you don't like to predict, but
no, I don't.
Do you sense that Nigeria would win tonight?
Of course,
your final thoughts generally about the conversation today, and do you sense that we'll win tonight?
No, Nigeria can win. The issue, as I have said, is the game management, resilience, and capacity. If Nigeria are able to stay consistent over the last 30 minutes, 20 minutes, that is where the critical moments will happen. If Nigeria score early, then Algeria will try to obviously get back into the game. And if they do, and they then try to attack more to see if they can force Nigeria to go behind, how would Nigeria react to that? So for me, the defensive solidity of Nigeria is where there are questions to answer. The attack, the midfield are fine. They can handle things. But the defense has to be able to cope because the Algerians too are very fast. They are mobile, and they have some good talent there. So you got players like Mahrez there. So you can't afford to have a defense that is slack. So if Shell can find the antidote to the drop in concentration that the team has over the last 20 minutes, then yes, I see no reason why Nigeria can't win, because we have so much firepower up front to beat any team in Africa. No team has the type of strikers that we have. But as I keep on saying, you need balance to win an AFCON or any big tournament.
Mutiu, your final thoughts on this morning's conversation, and maybe you would want to make a prediction.
Well, I don't like predicting either, but sometimes I try to, but I just want Nigeria to win, and I'm thinking of us winning like 2-0. It's not going to be an easy game, and like Osazu just said, there has to be a 100% concentration of the team. Yes, even if you are ahead, and there shouldn't be any lack in the defense, and that's when the opponent comes into us, and then it starts giving us problems. So I think the consistency has to be there 90 minutes, even if it's going to be 120 minutes. The consistency has to be, so that we can have the day. I'm very sure with the attack that we have, we are going to have opportunities. They should just try as much as possible to make use of the opportunities that we are going to get. Definitely, we are going to have it. We have a very good attack. Then, when we make use of it, we should come back compact and make sure that we avoid them. We don't allow them to score any goal, which can bring vitamin into their energy, and they start coming back to us. So I think that's what the consistency has to be 100%.
Well, on that note, let me use this opportunity to thank my very good friend. I describe him as foremost African sports journalist, barrister, and the single man that I have promised a wife in Wasini, Osasu Obayuwana. Thank you for coming on the show today. Enjoy today's match. I look forward to having a review of the match with you again, because that's so important. Every time you speak to the heart of Nigerian football. So thank you once again. Enjoy the rest of your stay in Morocco. I may be able to join you tomorrow by the special grace of God. And also to thank Mutiu Adepoju, the headmaster, the man who succeeded me with the head in Shooting Stars.
Yes. After you, it was you I was watching that time.
Thank you very much. We wish you a successful celebration tomorrow. Socialize and salute everybody for me in Ibadan. And on that note, join us again next week, Saturday, when we bring you another edition of 90 Minutes with Mathematical on Eagle 7 Sports Radio, the #1 sports radio station in Ogun State for now, and spreading its wings like an eagle all over the world. Until next Saturday, bye from us here.